Mulan has been a complete disaster for Disney since the very beginning of the project. They have tried everything to make sure that this movie's release went as smoothly as possible in China with all of the pandering that they've done. Yet they have managed to completely ruin it all for themselves, and we finally have a little bit of proof of that, because the movie has officially bombed in the Chinese box office, but Disney is also dealing with US lawmakers who are urging the company to clarify the Chinese government's involvement and connection to the movie, and I'm going to say what we are all thinking. I don't feel bad in the slightest for this company. They have done so many disgusting things surrounding this movie, thinking that nobody would notice and nobody would care. They filmed in Xinjiang. They chose a lead actress who supported and still supports the police brutality that's going on in Hong Kong, thinking that nobody would care. They censored the hell out of this movie. They deserve all of the negativity that's going on right now. So the first article that I'm going to be referencing is one from Forbes.com. Mulan bombs in China as New Mutants nears 15 million in the United States. Since Warner Brothers isn't releasing daily numbers for Tenet, we'll have to assume that the film will hopefully pass the $200 million mark in global earnings sometime tomorrow. The film has earned $42.8 million in China, which frankly isn't bad, as it has sold about as many tickets as Dunkirk, which it earned $52 million in 2017. Scrolling down just a little bit, it says it will now probably top 60 million in China, potentially ending up just under/over the $68 million total of Inception way back in 2010. If it were part of a healthy global theatrical run, including North America, then over/under 65 million would be perfectly okay for the 200 million sci-fi flick. Expectations were higher, to be sure, and the 18 million reissue of Interstellar last month didn't help in that regard. But scrolling down through the article to the meat and bones of what I really wanted to read is about Mulan. Mulan is outright bombing in China, having earned 8.27 million on Saturday, just 5% of its mediocre 7.9 million Friday gross. Credit the Chinese media blackout, online piracy from last week's PVOD debut via Disney Plus, or that the film isn't clicking with Chinese moviegoers and Disney made a mistake to presume they would automatically show up. However, again, had this film opened as planned in March, it wouldn't have needed megabucks in China, since it would have done decent business in North America. It was tracking for an 80 to 90 million domestic debut, and elsewhere. But that said, the film will probably nab a near 23 million opening weekend, meaning that it will top out around 45 million. I mean, these numbers are abysmal. Hearing about these awful opening numbers in China, along with the rumored Disney Plus sales, means that they're not even close to making their budget back. Now, a huge part of this is because the Chinese government did ban media coverage for the movie after all of the outrage on social media that the movie's been receiving, which obviously was a huge blow for Disney, but they deserved it. They were probably relying on that coverage, and then it all went away days before release. But I also wanted to read through a new bipartisan letter that was sent to Disney over the Xinjiang situation, because Disney has gone completely silent. They have said nothing since the media coverage was banned in China a couple of days ago, probably because they know that there's no good excuse that anyone will believe now. This was a tweet that was put out by the China Commission, the CECC Gov. Chairs send bipartisan letter to Disney inquiring about the filming of Mulan in Xinjiang, the Uyghur Autonomous Region, or the XUAR as we're going to reference, and Disney's relationship with security and propaganda entities responsible for committing or covering up atrocities in the XUAR. Now, I'm not going to read through the whole entire letter because it is pretty long and pretty extensive, but I did want to read through a good portion of it so you can understand the situation that Disney has gotten themselves into with this movie that hasn't even made them their budget back yet. It says, Congress of the United States, Mr. Bob Chapek, the Chief Executive Officer of the Walt Disney Company. Dear Mr. Chapek, we are writing to inquire about the Walt Disney Disney's company's cooperation with elements of the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Regions, XUAR, security and propaganda authorities in the production of Mulan. Disney's apparent cooperation with officials of the People's Republic of China, or the PRC, who are most responsible for committing atrocities or for covering up those crimes, is profoundly disturbing. The closing credits of Mulan extend thanks to the Turpan Municipal Bureau of Public Security and the Publicity Department of the CPC, Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region Committee, as well as other local-level XUAR propaganda elements. Publicly available information prior to the filming of Mulan showed the existence of mass interim camps for the detention of Uyghurs. By July 1st, 2018, major news outlets in the United States, Australia, United Kingdom, and Hong Kong had all reported that Beijing had interned hundreds of thousands, if not more than 1 million, Uyghurs and minorities in the XUAR. The decision to film parts of Mulan in the XUAR, in cooperation with local security and propaganda elements, offers tactic legitimacy to the perpetrators of crimes that may warrant the designation of genocide. As such, we request the following information. Please describe in detail the Walt Disney Company's cooperation with the Publicity Department of CPC Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region Committee and the Turpan Municipal Bureau of Public Security, as well as any other cooperations involving official PRC and CCP entities in the XUAR during the filming of Mulan. We have, please describe the contractual requirements made by or requests made of the Walt Disney Company related to the naming of the Publicity Department of the CPC Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region Committee and the Turpan Municipal Bureau of Public Security and any other PRC or CCP entity in the Mulan credits. As you can see, it continues to go on. There are 10 different tiers of what they're asking from the Walt Disney Company. The third says, please describe the extent to which officers and senior executives of the Walt Disney Company were aware of reports with the filming of Mulan, and the PRC and CCP were carrying out a campaign of mass surveillance and detention against Uyghurs and other Muslim minorities in the XUAR. The bipartisan letter does end off, though, with the Walt Disney Company's website states, "We believe social responsibility is a long-term investment that serves to strengthen our operations and competitiveness in the marketplace, enhance risk assessment, attract and engage talented employees, and maintain our reputation. We seek to fully understand how you implement this commitment in the activities you undertake in China," and it is signed by multiple people. We have a bunch of U.S. senators, members of Congress, Marco Rubio, Christopher H. Smith, we have Mike Gallagher, Tom Cotton, I mean, there are plenty here. We also have Rick Scott, we have Ted Cruz, and there are quite a lot of people here that are not very happy with Disney now. Too many companies think that they can do whatever they want and get away with it because there will always be someone to consume their products and not think about the disgusting things that they're doing. And Disney is unfortunately one of those companies that does what they want, thinking that their audience is way too dumb to realize what they're doing. Boycott Mulan and Boycott Disney have been trending on social media for days now, and even though I don't really boycott companies a lot of the time, I completely understand why people would want to boycott Disney, and I really hope that this is a wake-up call for them. I hope that they realize pandering to China isn't always going to work out, but they probably won't. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like and share it, and of course if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.